Hey folks, welcome back to AAA Farms. James here. So I'm gonna be working on the motorcycle today. I got a new carburetor put on it. That fixed all the problems that I was having with it as far as gas and running. And it ran extremely well until when I got back. And I backed the bike into the shed here and noticed a bunch of smoke coming off the front of the bike up here. Under further investigation, I found that all this was covered in oil. You can still see some residue of it on the fender. And it was all over the brake calipers. I thought it might have been the brake, but I squeezed the brake, couldn't get any more oil to come out. And then I noticed that it seemed like it was coming from my fork. So today we're going to be rebuilding these forks. The first thing I got to do is take off a whole bunch of stuff. So brakes, tire, fender has to come off, along with everything up here, because you got to be able to get access to the top of the forks, which is underneath all this covering, which means everything has to come apart. So it's going to be a bit, but I'm going to get all this pulled off, get the fork off, and then we'll pick up from there. Alright everybody, I went ahead, got everything taken off on camera. That's a lot. It's a lot of stuff. The most difficult part, which wasn't too crazy, but on the inside of the fender, you got bolts that bolt in right here on each side. And it has these little straps on them to help brace them. Well, in the corners, they have those bent up to hold. So you have to bend those back. Other than that, the rest of it is just kind of time consuming. You just bend those tabs back, no big deal. And the rest of it comes apart relatively easy. Went ahead and cleaned some of the big dirt divers nest off that were up here, and I'm probably going to clean that up better before I put it back together, but we're going to get on these forks. So next step is to take this top nut off on both sides, and then we have to loosen this bolt. This clamps it in place, this holds it in place at the top. So I'm going to take the top off first. That way the clamp kind of holds it, and then I'll put everything back to take that off, slide the fork out, and we should be good to start working on the fork. To get that fork off, you need this fork. Oh, it's in my pocket. You can use a different socket, but as you can tell, you don't have a whole lot of room here. On the other side, you got quite a bit. I went ahead and elected to buy this special socket for this stuff. It's an 1 3/8 inches. It's small, so you can kind of squeeze it in there. Still not sure if I'm going to get my breaker bar in on this side, but I definitely will on the other side. I bought this off Amazon. That is the part number there. Wasn't too expensive, so hoping this is the last time I got to use it for a while, but we'll see. So next step, I'm going to get my breaker bar, put it on this, and we'll break these nuts off, and then we'll loosen these bolts, and then we'll pull the forks out. Not too bad. Once you get that initial part of it to break free, it unthreads pretty easily. It's gonna be nice getting a new shed and having a lot more space to work on stuff in here. We're also gonna redo the floors. Right now it's just a dirt floor. We're gonna do a like concrete wafers. It's kind of our plan for both sheds. And we'll take all that stuff y'all see in the background, which is just stuff that's in storage, and we'll put it up in that other shed. And this will be our shop to work on stuff. It's gonna be really nice. But that's 2 bolts taken off. These front bolts are 5/8. Should be loose enough. Oh yeah, there's oil all over this thing. This is the one that was leaking. All right. Yeah. Okay. Just realized most of that got off camera, but anyway, y'all can see where all the gunk was right there. This one's covered in oil. It's definitely the one that was leaking. I'm gonna assume, so it looks like, you see that dirt diver's nest, probably going down the road, and with age and everything, it looks like this thing compressed that far. That's my guess. And that damaged it. So with that nut off, I can apparently drain all this oil here. I don't know what color it's supposed to be, but that's a like a dark gray color. But this is also probably the original fork oil from 2003. Do the same thing on this side. Loose. Okay. We'll pour this one out too, and then we'll break them down. Alright, when we start breaking this thing down, the first thing we want to do is take out this 6mm Allen off the back. Pays to have a long one. On this side doesn't matter as much, but on the other side you actually got to go through the bottom of the strut. Okay. That ain't got enough juice in it. Alright, so since the impact didn't work, I'm quite got enough ump. There we go. Ain't nothing like a 2-foot pipe. I keep that pipe around for a whole bunch of reasons. Mainly this kind of stuff. Okay, here's our bolt. There's a brass washer in here as well that we got to get out. Okay, brass, copper, or something. Now I'm gonna go finish draining the rest of this oil out, and then we'll take the top end apart. Alright, so this cap's being kind of hard to come off. So I went ahead and clamped it back on the bike. That way I got something to grip it and actually hold it. It shouldn't really take a whole lot of force to break this thing free. There it goes. Okay. So I'm just going to break it free a little bit. Then I'm going to take it off all this so that we can work it with that spring in there. There's a spring that keeps under tension you want to watch out for. Alright, now that we got it broke free, I'm going to slowly break this thing loose. Keep in mind there's a spring in there, so you don't want to put your face right next to it. There's our spring. Now we can go through, pull our spring off, set it to the side, then we'll work on removing everything else. Alright, so our spring, gotta take our clips out. We'll basically slide hammer this apart. There we go. This is our little end piece. Barrel. So there's some dirt buildup in that sealing surface there. So I believe what this basically had a dirt dive nest above it from sitting for so long. And then on top of that, I mean, these are probably the original seals from 2003. So we're due for a change anyway, but then we had this dirt diver nest there that just probably finished it off. I'm gonna clean all the grime and goop I can out of it. Okay. Oh, that looks pretty good. Take our end piece. Yeah, you can tell where it's hitting right there. That's probably what caused it to start leaking. Bust this off. I have to clean that up really good so it doesn't cause us to leak again in the future. Our old components. So on these old components, there's this, I guess, shim, whatever you want to call it, sleeve. There's a washer that goes on top of that, and then there's the seal. One thing to keep in mind is when you put this back on, you want the number side up. So, as I've been working on this, I've been doing the other one too. I got to a point, camera overheated, didn't want to record no more. So I went ahead and did the other one. And that's why there's already parts on the table here. Okay. I hit that with a little bit of steel wool. Try to take off. It looks like there's a little bit of rust there from where that dirt was. Okay, I got that cleaned up as best as I could. Next part is just to start putting everything together. So this is that lower one. Yes. This I bought off Amazon as well. That is the part number. So I picked these because these parts are made in Japan. And Japan makes good stuff. And the kit was significantly cheaper than what you can get from Harley, which the Harley one wasn't too expensive. But if you bought it off the internet, you would have to buy it from eBay or something, and they would charge you an arm and a leg. And Harley doesn't ship parts. You can go pick them up from the store, and that's about it. My closest store is about 2 hours away. So I did not go that route. And on top of that, for some reason this component here, the store has to have it. It won't ship it to the store. So there's that. We got the new one on. Leave that up. This is our other one that goes on top of that one. Trying to hurry up. I'm feeling some sprinkles, but I ain't supposed to have any rain today. So this one just slides on top, just like that. And our washer. And then we'll put our seal on. Just remember, numbers up, so you want it like this. Other thing you got to do, you want to drop this piece back in, let it go all the way through. This area tends to like build up grime, I guess because it's the lowest point. So make sure you clean it out really good. Yeah, like right here, I don't know how well y'all can see down in there. There's a lot of crud. Like a towel. Nice and clean. So we want to put this tip on there like that. Go ahead and take our spring. Put our spring on to back that up. And you want to feed this in slowly and straight. Just like that. Where is that? That'd be right here. Oh. Place our crush washer. I'm going to clean all the crud off of this too. This goes into that dirty area that we just cleaned out. New crush washer. apparently I don't have the right size washer, so ideally you change this washer out. But I bought that kit that does different washer sizes, and of course it's a special size. The ID of this one's good. The OD is too large, so just have to hope for the best. This wasn't leaking before, so hopefully it ain't leaking now. Cool. I'll hurry up before the rain gets here. We can take our spring off. We got everything but our seal. So, one thing you want to do, that sleeve doesn't sit itself. So you can put the sleeve in and then tap it down like that until it deadheads, or the sleeve and washer in my case. So that's all the way down. And then our seal with numbers up is next. We're going to put a little bit of torque oil on it just to help it lubricate a little bit. Numbers up. Take our little slide hammer again. Okay, there we go. So you just want to keep on hitting it until you can see that groove that snap ring sits in. You can see it down there. This kit comes with new rings. There we go. So everything appears to be seated. There we go. Now everything's seated all the way. No, it didn't look right. Next bit. So we've got everything back in there component wise. Next thing we want to do is pour our oil in it. And since we took it completely apart, you want 11.1 ounces. So I got me a mason jar here. It goes up to 6 ounces. Okay. This is our first 6 ounces. So that's 10 ounces. And then the rest we're going to do in millimeters. So 1.1 ounce in millimeters is 30 32.5 milliliters. It's 20. $10. All right. I'm gonna move us into the shed, starting to sprinkle. I don't really want water getting in all this stuff. All right, we're out of rain, so I wanted to show you all this. So this is that sill driver I was using. Bought it off of Amazon as well. It's made in China, of course. That's the part number. I mean, it works great, does its job. And I imagine there are ones out there that you can spend a whole lot more money on, but all seriousness, hopefully this is the last time I got to use it for a couple of years. Depends on how many miles I get in a year and how long they last and everything. Okay. Got everything out of the rain. It's not really raining, it's more of a sprinkle, but still just don't want to get water all over all the stuff. So you got to replace this O-ring as well. And then really and truly, I mean, the last thing to put in here is the spring. You want the more compressed side. That side goes in first, followed by the bigger gap side. Now, to me, arguably, this is the hardest part of this whole entire thing. But I did find a way that works, so I'm going to show you all that. Alright, so what you want to do, go ahead and get your fork started in here. You then want to take your this top bolt. This is the bolt that goes in from the top here. You want to go ahead and start it in your top cap and go all the way down with it, as so. And you want to make sure this is loose so you can slide it up. And then you want to kind of get everything lined up and proceed to push this as high as you can. Okay. All right. Now the next step is fun too. We got to get us a space up here. So I'm gonna put a spacer in it. Whoa. Trying to catch my breath for a minute. All right. Okay. Now we're going to try to get it to where I can feed this 1-inch block in there. This is part of my press here. I got to press. Okay. Go. Okay. So what's going to happen now is as I turn this to tighten it down, it's going to disengage from these threads. So this will, you're basically unscrewing this. So you'll see this push against this, basically pushing this down until it grabs on these threads. A little bit out of breath, so. Alright, we're started on that thread there. We're on the bottom threads. Just gotta be cautious about it because you don't want that dropping in your paint job. By far the easiest method I've found. You see where people just manhandle it, and I tried that. It probably helps too that a lot of those people have like different vices and stuff they can use. I do not. So yeah, I like doing things the easier way. This is significantly easier. So now I got my big one. We're going to make sure this is snug. Okay. Oh. I'll take a bit out of you. So there's a washer that goes up here too, like a rubber washer. I'll push the old one out. Next step is just to finish pushing this all the way in, see at the top, tighten it down, and put everything back on there. Okay. Alright, and on this top part, like I said, there's this washer. This is a new one. It comes in that kit. We just need to work it on this bolt. Oh, it's hot. This is definitely like a prime winter project. Alright y'all, I was wrong. You can definitely fit a torque wrench on here. So, has to be 50 to 60 pounds. Got it set to 55. That one's good. That one's good. And then these pinch bolts have to be at 35. And then the Allen bolts down there are at 90 inch-pounds. So I'll get those here in a minute. Then I'll throw everything back on the bike. Probably try to clean it off somewhat beforehand, since I can get to all these crevices that have all this dirt in it now. And then we'll see how the bike does. Alright, side note here. Make sure you have these dampeners on, or whatever they are. Kind of got to the point you see now and then realized that I didn't put those on, so I had to loosen the two top cap bolts, loosen these bolts and work it down, squeeze those on, work it back up. It'd been a lot easier to get it on the first time, so FYI, watch out for that. I'm gonna finish putting this bike back together. Alright y'all, so we got both forks on. I got everything put back on the bike. Drove it up and down the driveway a couple times, so I don't have any leaks, no oil coming out anywhere, so I'm gonna say we got it fixed. But I just got done picking up all the tools. I could put the bike back in the shed. I'm calling it a day. So all in all, this probably took somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 to 8 hours to do today. It took a while because you're gonna take all the stuff off the front, and y'all saw what I had to do. So it took a bit of time. I think if I did it again, I could do it faster. But it's definitely a great winter project because it is hot, so very hot today. Anyway, I'm gonna go inside, cool off for a bit, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Thank you for joining me on the farm today. Talk to y'all next time.